their excitement. Don't have a lead. Practice walking with treats. Make sure that you, one, have water with you when you do walk, due to their, short noses and not being able to breathe as well. Hey guys, welcome back to the French Bulldog. Today we are talking about walking your French Bulldog, and I'm gonna provide you 5 tips on the best practices in doing that. But before we get started, please like and subscribe. Comment down below what kind of content you'd like me to put out there, because I want to create what you guys want to see, and that's the most important thing for me. I will do the research and then I'll make the video on whatever it is you guys want to hear. So without further ado, let's get started on 5 tips to walk your French Bulldog. So I want to start out by saying, at the beginning, when I first got Monty, I did not know how to walk my French Bulldog. I had had all kinds of dogs in the past. French Bulldog was not one of them, and I did not realize how difficult it was going to be to try to get him to walk on a leash. We spent probably 3 months trying to figure this out. He would not walk. We thought it was the cold. We tried new leashes, we tried new harnesses, we tried everything, and he would not walk. It took another dog walking with him for him to actually not just sit there and look at us like, what the heck are we doing? So it took a while, but we finally got there, and now I'm excited to provide these tips for you. The first tip I have is to preempt their excitement. Basically, get them excited about wanting to go outside, excited about going on a walk. We use the term walkie with Monty. So we'll say, let's go on a walkie. We'll get him excited. We'll say bye-bye, because he knows what that means. We'll bring out his leash, because we want him to know that it's a good thing. Getting outside, getting exercise, and going on a walk is a very good thing. We want him to get excited about it. So now we use that term, and he jumps up and down. He gets all excited. And so I feel like we've done our job in that way, but I recommend that to you. The next tip I have is don't have a lead. Whether it's the French Bulldog or yourself, don't allow them to have, a 20-foot lead, or don't walk too far in front of your French Bulldog. Basically, they should be staying right near you. That way, if there's cars nearby or if they run after something, you're right there to kind of stop them from doing that. This is important for their safety, and then just for good training tips too. Make sure they are walking right by you. Use terms like heel or leave it, or use a treat and guide them along for the first few times so that they know the right thing to do. But don't allow them or you to have too much of a lead. And this leads into my next tip, which is practice walking with treats. Now, we tried that with Monty, leaving little treats, about 20 feet apart from the next one, so he would follow, along the trail. And it didn't necessarily work for him at the beginning. It started working later on. So this tip might not work for you, but if it does, it's a great tip. Just try not to do it over and over and over, because then they'll just get used to the treats, and then they won't walk if there are no treats. So use it for the first few times. Obviously, training treats are a great thing for dogs because they know it's, they're being reinforced in a good way. So yeah. Use treats as much as you want to, but just cut it off after a certain amount of time so they're not dependent on those treats in order to go on a walk. The next tip is specifically French Bulldogs, and that is during the summer, stick to walking in early mornings and not late at night, but in the evenings when the sun has gone down. I say this because they do get overheated very quickly. Today is a beautiful day where I'm at. We took Monty on a walk, and after about 10 minutes, he was gassed. He needed water, he was panting really bad. So make sure that you, 1, have water with you when you do walk, and then 2, you're not walking them if it's past like 75 degrees outside for a long period of time, because they will overheat due to their, short noses and not being able to breathe as well. They can't catch their breath, and so they will overheat. Oh, and then if they do overheat, make sure that you either give them ice. I have Monty kind of chew on ice, cool them down immediately. Make sure that they're in a stable temperature where they can be cooled down. You can put air on their face, really get them to lower their body temperature, because you don't want anything bad happening like heat stroke, because that could be fatal for this breed. And then my number 1 tip, which is probably the most important everyday tip for walking a French Bulldog, is that you should be using a harness over a collar when walking. So if you're using a collar, you're pulling on their throat, which again, they can't breathe as well. They need that extra air in order to breathe. So make sure that you're not using just a collar because it's pulling on their throat. You can even collapse their airways, which is really dangerous as well because that could be fatal. So using a harness will keep them, from pulling too hard, and it's just their chest. So you can't really damage their chest because it's, the most muscular, broad part of their bodies. So use the harness. There's tons of harnesses out there. I can link some down below for you, some good ones. I use one that I used for a while. I'm looking to switch. So if you have any good recommendations, comment down below for that as well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I look forward to catching you in the next one. But until then, bye guys.